Oh, my electric kettle takes forever. I thought it would be done before I go live. I didn't want to delay. Let's see. It'll just be a second. In the meantime, I can already load the game. And it's loading. There's my electric kettle. All right, still loading. And insert disk 2. Only take a second. And press any key. Hit any key. Captain's log, stardate 3642.0. A venture beyond the charted boundaries of Federation territory, reducing our speed to subwarp velocity in the Promethean solar system, near the Great Transstellar Rift. Our orders are straightforward. This is an exploratory mission. We are to seek out new life and make contact with new civilizations. The unknown Promethean worlds wheel into view on the screen before me. Gleaming spheres, circling endlessly in the darkness. After all these years, planets still look like toys to me. Each one small enough to take into the palm of my hand, like the models hung from the ceiling in my room at the academy. At times like these, I find myself falling back on a single thought, a schoolboy's lesson, drilled into me at the academy with maddening regularity. A fundamental principle which I once hoped was no more than a killjoy guideline cooked up by some sour earthbound Federation desk jockey, which I have since come to respect as genuine wisdom. The prime directive. You can look all you like, but don't touch. Star Trek, the Promethean prophecy. Copyright blah 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 blah. Copyright Paramount Pictures. Published by Simon and Schuster. An exclusive license. Star Trek is a registered trademark. Just the credits. A circular chamber perched atop the saucer ship section of a starship. The bridge is the brain of the Enterprise. Your command chair sits at the center, surrounded by stations for your science officer, communications officer, and helmsman. A large electronic view screen dominates the room. The only exit via turbo lift is aft. Lieutenant Uhura listens intently to her earphone. The navigator station Zulu monitors the ship's trajectory. Ensign Dwayne Berryman, your young science officer trainee, gazes at instruments on the science officer station. There's a small hollow there. Get hollow. Take him. Salmon hollow. The hollow is a glass hemisphere the size of an egg, designed to show full effect when shaken or turned. Frozen inside three-dimensional holographic imagery, Cornelia smiles her enigmatic smile amidst the snowy winter of Isa. A happy crowd emerges from the Markabot palace behind her. Poor sweet Nelia, your lost love. The day she gave you this holographic keepsake seems so long ago, almost in another lifetime. Ooh, this is pretty wordy, but it's published by a publisher. Well, look at Berryman. I have a walkthrough to help me a bit, because otherwise this would take forever to do by myself. I'm not really a text adventure guy, because when I grew up, there were already graphic adventures where you could pick the objects and pick the commands. Ensign Dwayne Berryman is one of the new recruits from Starbase 10. This is his first assignment. Young Ensign Dwayne Berryman works the Science Officer Station. Continuing scan of the Promethean system, Captain. I believe we've got a Class M planet out there. Prometheus 4 to be exact. Oh, this is wordy. Berryman. Analyze. Planet. I believe there is life on Prometheus 4, Captain, but mostly in a single location. Nothing sophisticated enough to pose a threat to us. All right. Time passes as always. Captain, I'm picking up something massive in our immediate vicinity, attempting to get a picture of it on the view screen. Examine view screen. The screen shows only stars against a black backdrop. Sorry, sir, your helmsman falters. I could have sworn there was something out there. Yes, there must have been. Deflector shields popped up and... Berryman changes the subject. Yes, Prometheus 4 is Class M, Captain, able to sustain human life. He gulps. But, of course, you know what a Class M planet is. A tremendous blow rocks the Enterprise. Bridge lights wink out, then immediately come up again. Stunned, your officers lift themselves from the deck as the red alert sirens wail. Zulu, Captain, we have been hit by an unidentified attacker. Nature of the assault is also unidentified. Berryman. Analyze attacker. Ensign Berryman stares blankly at the view screen, teeth chattering. Direct hit. Deflector shields, says Berryman tonelessly, evidently transfixed by the grim news pouring into bridge consoles. Captain, they're going to be in trouble back there. He sniffs out of it momentarily. Maybe I'll analyze the unidentified attacker, he says, and trails off again. Kirk, not Spec. Kirk to Spock. The intercom comes alive with the voice of First Officer Spock. I'm aware of our situation, Captain, and I am on my way. The connection is broken. Huge explosions below deck freeze a look of terror on Berryman's face. At this point, his expression may resemble your own. Sulu. Torpedoes. Arming photon torpedoes, says Sulu. You hear Ensign Berryman muttering to himself, "There it is. No, it's nothing." Wait. I passes as always. "Captain, I can't get a fix on this thing. We need an analysis of the attacker, something I can't perform." Wait. The turbolift's door slides away, and Spock stands framed in the entrance. His impassive angular features a sobering counterbalance to the sense of helplessness taking hold of the crew. Sulu calls out, "Captain, whatever it is has just come about for another attack." Spock acknowledges your glance with a small nod and steps onto the bridge. "Ensign," he says, approaching the young science officer, "I assume you have run a pattern analysis on the attacking vessel's maneuverings. Summarize your findings." "Yes, sir," the ensign snaps to attention, then falters. I plan to, just now." "Stand aside, please. Your first officer, the best on the fleet, takes command of the science officer station." Young Ensign Berryman, with an unembarrassed sigh of relief, exits through the turbolift door. Ugh, this is wordy. Another blow staggers the Enterprise. Sulu calls out, "Energy plasma concentrated, impossible to anticipate its trajectory." Spock calls out, "Captain, I have a fix on the attacking vessel. I am placing it on the view screen." He deftly toggles a pair of switches. Now, there it is, pale blue, and almost beautiful, its form that of an attacking eagle frozen in mid-flight. A Romulan bird of prey. Examine bird of prey. The bird of prey's graceful, swooping design obscures its purpose. You know this vessel to be little more than a plasma cannon with the mobility of a starship. This one screen image is uncommonly vivid, its outline of almost hallucinatory clarity. The effects of adrenaline, no doubt. "Captain, I am receiving a communication from the Romulan vessel," Uhura states. "Shall I put it on the screen?" "Yes." "Communication from the Romulan vessel," Uhura states. "Shall I put it on the screen?" Oh, I already had that. The view screen goes blindingly white, then fades. A face resolves before you. It is the Romulan commander. Judging by the smirking figure's garish gold uniform, okay, that was the second of the sentence. There is vicious glee written on his sharp, Vulcan-like features. "Uhura, Captain, I am unable to establish two-way communications. We'll be able to hear him, but the Romulans apparently are not interested in anything we may have to say." Still another hit booms through the lower decks. "Captain, I have found evidence of possible sensor malfunction. An indistinct data image mirroring the movements of our adversary." Fire. Here. Fire. Torpedo at image. The ship shudders. A full spread of torpedoes bursts from the launch tubes and speeds invisibly through the dark, set to detonate at target coordinates. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. The view screen blossoms with distant, silent white explosions. Zulu practically jumps from his seat. We've hit something. I have readings indicating concussion of some large object. It has to be a starship. Spock says I am in agreement, and Captain, his eyes on the view screen, notice the effect on the Romulan warship. Captain, that image may be of some kind of Romulan weapon. Maybe they're trying to confuse us into firing our weapons at the wrong target. Fire. Fire. Torpedo at image. Torpedoes fired, Zulu shouts. And another hit, Captain. The Romulan face leers. So proud you must have been, Captain of the Enterprise. Did you think I would let my brother's death at your hands go unanswered? Well, here is your answer. Another blow rocks the Enterprise. A moment later, Zulu calls out, "Starboard shield's gone." A terrible pressure grips the ship. You can practically feel it through the hull. 1,000 atmospheres about to crush you. Then it breaks and the force washes over you, wave after wave of some concentrated energy. Your years of experience tell you the Enterprise can't take much of this, whatever it is. Fire torpedo at image. Torpedoes away. View screen shifts to the targeted location. Distant explosions flare and die away. Zulu pounds his console lightly. We have him now, sir. Readings indicate they've lost a lot of power. Fire torpedo at image. Torpedoes away. A moment later, the soundless explosions. Look, Zulu shouts. Where the torpedoes detonated, the screen image of a Romulan warship now fades into view. Spock moves to your side. Captain, it is now apparent that the Romulan warship which initially attacked us was in fact no more than an illusion. Here all along was our true adversary, or what's left of it. This once deadly bird of prey is now scorched and inert. It hangs there like a cold ship, every spacefarer's nightmare. A derelict craft, its crew dead, adrift. Uhura breaks the silence. Captain, I have a transmission from that vessel. Shall I put it on the view screen? Yes. Instantly, the scene shifts to a picture of near-total devastation. The Romulan warship commander lurches through the wreckage that was once his bridge. As if sensing your presence, he turns to meet your gaze. You. Now you have defeated us both. He shivers and reaches under a crumpled console. It was you who killed my brother. This vessel's cloaking device did not protect him, as my own ship's imager has now failed me. The fact of my death must prove the measure of our family's valor. For you indeed must be a great enemy to have defeated us so. And what greater honor is there than to die battling the great enemies of our praetor? With that, he throws a silver lever and is bathed in white flame. Seconds later, only stars and black space are framed before you. Ask Spock about damage. Spock steps up to face you. Damage report, Captain. Severe impairment to key functions on virtually all decks. Turbo lift barely operational. 4 decks have been completely evacuated due to life support system failure. Priority 1 lost. I am informed that leaking phaser coolants have contaminated the entire supply of raw protein substance we use for synthesis of the ship's foodstuffs. There will be nothing to eat aboard the Enterprise until we find an alternative. Spock continues. I anticipate you will want to make an exploratory excursion to Prometheus 4. I suggest we keep our landing party to a minimum and have instructed xenoethnologist Hananda Dimas to meet us at the transporter room. Captain, I have a few things to attend to before we go, so I will meet you there shortly. He goes aft into the turbolift and is gone. A moment later, the turbolift returns. Aft. The door slides open automatically as you approach, then closes after you again with an aeromechanical whoosh. Turbolift, deck 1. The door to the simple elevator room faces 4. The gentle voice of ship's computer pipes from the intercom. Attention turbolift passengers. Attention. Damage control restrictions in effect. Service non-functional to all decks except 157. Those destinations accessible by command, up or down. Turbolift, deck 5. Turbolift is waiting now at deck 5. The exit is to 4. Turbolift, deck 7. Turbolift waits at deck 7. The door faces 4. 4. Corridor. Space utilitarian corridors stretch throughout the Enterprise. Spare, not space. Spare utilitarian corridors stretch throughout the Enterprise, running here to port and starboard. The main transporter room faces you to 4, and the entrance to engineering may be seen off to starboard. The turbolift waits for you aft. 4. The door slides open automatically as you approach, then closes after you again with an aeromechanical whoosh. Transporter room. The transporter console fills much of one side of this room. On the other sits the transporter platform, containing 6 matter-energy scrambler loci. Aft is the door. There is a transporter officer here. There's a communicator here. There's a portable phaser here. I skipped that. Damn. Whoops. Accidentally skipped through reading. That's why. That's a good reason to have the walkthrough. But when you accidentally skip, you can skip back. Well, you could. I could have gone back and gone forward again, I guess. But get phaser and communicator. Portable phaser, taken. The communicator, taken. Examine transporter. In a deep alcove facing the transporter console sit 6 brightly lit matter-energy scrambler loci. Persons wishing to beam off ship should get on the transporter. Get on transporter. You step onto the transporter, positioning yourself directly over one of the matter-energy scrambler loci, and turn to face the console. The rest of your landing party does the same. Coordinates set, Captain. Transporter ready to energize. Energize. You feel the familiar tingling onset of transporter paralysis as the atoms in your body convert temporarily into energy. The world reforms before your eyes. A shimmering nearby resolves into human form. Sandy clearing. Sandy clearing. Jagged, oddly shaped rocks surround a sandy clearing here. A steep ravine cuts up through steep cliffs to the north, broadening toward a desert to the south. Someone really put effort into this writing, obviously. Really poetic, prosaic, I mean. The path winds through jumbled rocks to the west. In the center of this sandy area, there sits what appears to be a monument of some kind, an obelisk. From time to time, Spock stiffens for a moment as something catches his eye, then relaxes again. McCoy snorts a bit and shakes his head. Demas studies the surroundings element by element, as if trying to absorb every detail. Your landing party fans out to explore the area. McCoy peers at the cliff to the east, while Spock takes tricorder readings in all directions. After intently studying the obelisk, Lieutenant Demas explores the jumbled rock formations to the west. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta take a break for now and save this, and I'll do it again, continue it. And continue it at some other point. And I just saved it, yeah. So, to those who watched and listened, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I'll continue at another point.